Here to react, Brandon Judd, National Border Patrol Council President. Brandon, what do you think Vice President Kamala Harris's biggest failure is in her first year?
Well, I'm obviously going to point to the border. I mean, that's what I live. I see it every single day. But the American public, they recognize it as well. Not just myself, not just my fellow officers. But when you look at when she gets questioned, when she gets asked what her biggest failure, the only thing the American public is getting is rhetoric, deflection, and lies. She's going to continue to point to climate change as one of the root causes for illegal immigration, rather than admit that they were wrong, rather than facing up and saying, this is what we need to do. There is simple solutions. We can actually get this under control. But in order to do that, there's going to have to be some humility. They're going to have to go back and say President Trump did, in fact, have it right. And they're going to have to change our policies. Instead, they're going to continue to deflect and lie to the American public. But let's look at facts. When we talk about the biggest border crisis in the history of the United States, tens of thousands of people are dying because of fentanyl overdoses. We have more than 1 million illegal border crossers have been added to our public last year. Now, on top of that, we also have an open border where we're seeing more people from around the world coming in, suspected terrorists we've taken into custody. So this is seriously the biggest border crisis that we've ever faced. Yet what we get from the Vice President is laughter. Can't happen.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned that suspected terrorist that was caught along our southern border. The Vice President was asked about national security threats. She obviously didn't mention the fact that we do have a pretty open border right now. Can you explain how big of a threat that is to our national security?
Well, it's a huge threat, especially when you consider the cartels, when they're able to dictate to us what our operations are going to be. When you go to Yuma, when you go to Del Rio, when you go to McAllen, and you see that the vast majority of our resources are in processing rather than actually patrolling the border. When you go up to even to the northern border and you recognize that 65% of the northern border isn't even being patrolled 24/7, those are serious threats. Those are threats to the American public. It's threats to national security. And the cartels, they recognize this and they know this. But not just the cartels, but the terrorist organizations, they also recognize and they know this. And they know that this is the time that's ripe in order to cross very, very bad actors into the United States. And again, we're just doing nothing about it. We're laughing and saying that our biggest threat is democracy. That is a serious problem. And until we get this under control, some very bad things are going to happen down the road.
Brandon, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, he recently authorized CBP to restart building small sections of the border wall. How big of a deal is this?
That's a huge deal. And again, I don't care if you give me 10 feet of wall, if you give me 100 miles of wall. We need walls in strategic locations so that we can dictate where illegal border crossings take place. When you go again, I'm going to point to Yuma again. When you go to Yuma, there are several gaps in our walls, and that's where people are crossing the border. That's where these people are giving up, and they're opening it up. The more urban areas, the more rural areas, they're opening up to higher value products, criminal aliens, fentanyl, opioids, and potentially even terrorists. That's a serious problem, and I'm going to point right back to it again. This White House is doing nothing about the issue.
Yeah, well, Border Patrol agents worked on Christmas. They also delivered Christmas gifts to communities. I'm sure that this was a wonderful moment for everybody involved.
It is. And when you look at law enforcement nationwide, we have a very unique opportunity to get into the public, to interact with the public. Border Patrol agents going out and delivering Christmas presents to needy families. Law enforcement nationwide putting on that uniform, going out and protecting the American public, but at the same time also doing service for the public. This is something that we love to do, something that we want to do. We want to alleviate the hurt, the stress, the pain that there is on the American public, and we go out and then we try to do it every single day. And Christmas is just one of those days that's very special, that we can go out and deliver presents to people.
Yeah, we're looking at great pictures of the celebrations that you guys had. Brandon, thank you for joining us.
Anytime. Thank you.